welcome back to the rest. Stop. In today's video, I'm going to be looking at dress shoes. Every pair of dress shoes I own, so it's going to be, a lot of black leather shoes, or fake leather, whatever it is, I don't know, that I've acquired over about the last decade, actually. So, the first pair, I think these are my most recent pair. I got these for a funeral a couple years ago. I think this is fake leather. I would assume it's fake leather. These are Sonoma Goods for Life with Ortholite Eco. You can see it says that in there. They're very comfortable. That's really why I bought them. Almost sounds like Mr. Krabs. I'm gonna have to really wash my hands after this. Also, if you guys hear building in the background, it's because there's building like 20 feet to my right, so I do apologize for that. But the lighting in the other room is really bad, so I wanted to film in here today. Plus, this is my spot, Anyways, there's the first shoe, the Sonoma Goods for Life. I actually really like that. It's very simple shoe. Looks good with, any type of gray, black slacks or whatever. Let's go a different direction here. These are old. These are really old. Like, these might be the second or oldest pair of, actually these might be the oldest pair of shoes I have. But these are, I guess, Topman dress shoes. I don't know. I don't know anything about shoes. These are Topmans, made in India. And if you can't tell from the lighting, these are a leather suede kind of style of shoe. Gigantic hair on me. And they're kind of a grayish blue with a, that's definitely not real wood. I think it's a leather bottom. There might be real wood in there. That might be a piece of real wood laid on top of leather. I don't know. What do you shoe experts think? I think it's leather because it looks like it's sewn on, or it's just some sort of fake plastic crap. Sounds good though. One of my friends back in high school, we started working together, and like during high school we started working together. Very soft. Also got like these perforations. I loved these shoes. I wore the crap out of these shoes. I don't even know if they fit anymore, but started working together at the end of high school, and it was like one of those weird relationships where I knew she was gonna go halfway across the world, and she knew I was gonna go halfway across the world, so we never really called it dating. We were just like really good friends, and she always bought me stuff like this. I remember, this is too much information, but there's the shoe. But I remember when I went off to college to play baseball, she wanted me to have workout gear, so she sent me like a $60 Lululemon sleeveless tank top. And I was like, dude, I can't pay you back for this because I'm literally broke and I don't have a job because I play baseball in college. And she was like, no, I just want you to have it. So she was very kind. So yeah, that's where those shoes came from. These shoes are absolutely beautiful. I freaking love these shoes. Real leather all the way around. I believe also a leather bottom. I don't know. But these are another similar color. These are like a more of a gray than blue, but they definitely have a blue in them for sure. And they have like this paisley, I think that's what you call it, kind of style with the dots all the way around the toe. And then again on the side and the heel, see that has that same kind of design. It scuffed them up really bad. You see I have some plastic bags in there. These are shoes that I got for my own mom's funeral. And my dad basically was like, well, if you gotta go to your mom's funeral, you might as well go as fly as you possibly can. So they got these shoes and they were like $300. These are Joseph Abboud. See right there on the inside of the sole, on the heel. They might not have been $300, but they were definitely in the hundreds of dollars. It was like $250 or something crazy. At Men's Warehouse, of course, because that was like the only place in Topeka, Kansas. But a much more quality shoe right here. It's got a rubber heel mixed in with the leather, and that might be real wood in there. I don't know. What do they make shoes out of? I don't know. Obviously leather and stuff like that, but really cool shoes. I love these. I've worn them to several kind of events and stuff like that when I need a nice shoe and I don't want to wear just a plain black leather shoe. I don't want to scratch them up too bad, so you know, they were collapsing like that second pair of shoes, and I was like, I can't do those shoes like that, man. Those are important shoes, which is a funny thing to say, an important pair of shoes. But you know, sometimes some items mean something more than others. They just have sentimental value, and these are definitely a pair of shoes that have sentimental value for obvious reasons. I also don't know what that stamp means. It says, I'm sorry, there's a saw going in the background that's really relaxing. Averstone. I can't read it. I can't catch the light. Anyway, there's a stamp right there. So there's the third pair of shoes. Look how collapsed those. I gotta put, I mean, it's like basically there's not even a shoe left, it's just the sole. Metaphorical, just your sole is left. I'm just kind of sorting through, getting the other shoes together. I think these are either, this is again one of the oldest pairs of shoes I have. Okay, that's hilarious. There's a lens cleaner for goggles and scopes and stuff. I don't know how that found its way in here, but I've shown these shoes before. These are like apparently a really popular pair of shoes from Calvin Klein. My friend has a pair. I've seen other ASMR channels that have these. I'm assuming it's because they were cheap. These, I think these are like $70. And I got them from probably TJ Maxx or something. But yeah, it's like a slip-on. I don't know what you'd call these. Again, I'm not a sneakerhead or a shoe head. Um, but I might have gotten these when I was a senior in high school. And they're like these fake leather, textured fake leather, vinyl. I don't know what it is. Calvin Klein, you can see it says Calvin Klein right there a little bit. And then it's got this metal piece. It says Calvin Klein, just for, you know, a design accent. A little tongue here. And then the inside is kind of a suede velour texture on the inside of the sole that your foot actually rests on. It's got like a sewn toe, and then the bottom is sectioned off with pieces of rubber, so I guess you have more, you know, flexibility. And it comes with a nice little piece of tape that has probably been on there for a decade. But I'm pretty certain I wore these to prom. I think that's why I bought them. I remember I think I was my mom that took me to TJ Maxx, because it was like, my dad worked, obviously, but I remember going to TJ Maxx and seeing these, and I'm like, Mom, like, these are pretty cool, like, they're cheap, can I get them? And she was like, I'm getting you one pair of shoes. And my mom was a cheap ass, just like my grandpa, just like her dad, and that's why I'm like that. But she's like, I'm getting you one pair, and you're gonna use them not just for prom, so you better get them for prom, like graduation. You know, she was a 5-for-1 kind of chick. Like, so she was like, you better figure it out, because you're gonna be wearing these for dinner, for like fancy dinners if we go to them. We're gonna, you know, Christmas party, like whatever it was, you know. She was funny. So yeah, there's that pair of shoes. I'm kind of trying to drag out my storytelling along with the shoes, because there's only 3 pairs left, and or 2 pairs left. They don't really have any crazy stories, but I might go back through. We'll see. This pair of shoes, pretty sure I got these from my dad, unless these are not my shoes. I'm pretty sure these are my shoes. I could tell you right now, these are definitely my shoes. So I either bought these myself. I might have bought these myself. I know I bought these myself because I had to buy them for a funeral. I bought these, unless that's that other pair. I feel like I bought these really cheap. These are Nunbush. I ain't got Nunbush, man. Nunbush 1912 on the heel, it says, and these are a much simpler, cheaper pair of shoes. But a nice, elegant, just a regular pair of more than likely fake leather shoes. That's okay. Sometimes you just gotta get you a new pair. But I believe that I bought these for my buddy's funeral that I served with. And because I didn't have a pair at the time that went with, you know, what I had. Again, I think that's what I bought these for. That might have been another pair of shoes down there, but yeah, I kind of got like this wooden style insert right here on the mid of the sole. It's actually rubber. It's painted to look like wood, and then the rest of it's also obviously rubber right here. You can see where it's wearing off, how it's rubber underneath. Dress Flex is what it says. And then it says born in Milwaukee. Again, a really cheap pair of dress shoes. Just kind of like, hey, we gotta get going. And on the inside, it's got a really nice squishy sole that's like really comfortable. And then like some sewn accents here. I guess they're not really accents, that's just how they put the shoe together, you know? And then there's an N on the back. I almost wonder if these are my shoes. I'm pretty sure they are. I'm pretty sure they are. They're at the top of my closet, so I just can't remember. They look, I mean, you'll see why I'm questioning it, because it's like the same exact shoe. My dad might have given me these, and I might have bought these before my dad gave me these. Yeah, for a funeral. I think, again, I don't freaking know. I keep saying I don't know. But then the last pair of shoes I have, they're like a mix of dress shoe and kind of like business casual. These are, sorry, I'm getting notifications. People following my Instagram and stuff and leaving me comments. But yeah, my dad gave me these. Shout out to my dad. By the way, guys, I hate to be annoying and like plug this over and over again, but my dad lost all the money for the original GoFundMe because the bank would not allow the transfer. We had like $1,100, and literally the day that the transfer was approved by Wells Fargo, of course, the time ran out on the GoFundMe and everybody got a refund. So if you'd like to help my dad, you know, pay off some of a portion of that debt for my mom's medical expenses from 8 years ago, I'm gonna leave a link in the not in the description, in the comments. And even if it's $1, I appreciate it. You know, we're almost at $300, so I thank you so much to those that have donated. My dad was distraught because there's like $12,000 left or something. If you guys know anything about medical bills in the United States, and furthermore medical, like experimental treatments, yeah, they get extremely expensive. And my dad lost his entire retirement, his entire life savings that he had been building for 30 years to try to save my mom's life. So if you'd like to donate, I'll leave a link down below, and I really appreciate you for considering doing that. But these shoes were given to me by my dad, which is, you know, shout out to my dad again. These are Bruno Marc. That's funny. Bruno Marc. Bruno Marc. And it's like almost like a pleather kind of feel. Is it called pleather? What's it called? Fake leather? Why do they call it pleather? And then there's like suede around the heel here and here. What is that called? Pleather. What is the PL for? Plush? Plastic leather? I don't freaking know. Why can't I remember? My memory is failing me lately. And then it's got this really comfortable foam bottom. Sounds really nice to scratch it, including scratching my nose. But everything my dad has is basically size 10. So these are a little tight on my feet, but they're actually really dope shoes. I really like them. I didn't at first, but he gave them to me because I went to church was like, dude, those shoes are, you can't wear those shoes, man. You look like a fool. My dad used to, literally, he would go model for stores as a college kid in his town. We went to the same college, by the way. Played baseball for the same college, actually. And he would go model for these stores in town and get paid in clothes. So they'd be like, hey, will you come over and model these clothes for us? And then you can just have them. So my dad would have all kinds of clothes. And he was also like, I guess he wanted a really easy degree because my dad hated school, just like me. So he did like fashion and textiles. So he was modeling and doing fashion and textiles for college, and his buddies never, let him live that down. But he always had style. So, good for him, I guess. So he's always like trying to, growing up, looking back at it, I should have just listened to him because there's some really like creative choices that I wish I would have listened to him and been, because like I would look back at those pictures now and be like, dude, I was fly. Like he was always, trying to put me in like the really crazy 90s kind of, this was the early 2000s, so like 90s fashion was still a thing. But he'd always try to put me in like a super 90s looking, whether it's a graphic t-shirt or like some off the wall crazy color polo shirt, stuff like that, and there's definitely some really funny pictures of me like wearing like capri pants in South Africa when we were there, and I had like on this like graphic t-shirt and like bleach blonde hair. I was wearing not a do-rag, but like a motorcycle. It basically looks like a do-rag, but like for bikers, with like my shades on. I was a funny kid, man. And I always spiked my hair. I had like, when I was a kid, I was very I don't say this like lightly, but I think I had like, my brother's the same way. My sister was not this way. I don't want to say like I was autistic or whatever, because I don't think I have, like I don't have like a diagnosis or anything. I'm not one of those people to be like, oh dude, I'm so autistic. But me and my brothers very specifically had things that we were like very specific about. And my hair, you guys probably still see it today. I'm like, oh man, my hair. I never put that together with what I'm talking about now, but when I was a kid, I would be late to school because my hair, I would spike it, all of it, the entire thing. I would spike it. It was like this long. I would spike the whole thing. And my mom would get really, really mad at me because I'd be in the mirror spiking my hair, and all of it had to stand up perfectly straight. And I would run around the house to try to blow dry my hair. That's why I have a hat on right now, by the way, is because my hair. But my brother's thing was he couldn't wear a pair of pants. I was pants, he was pants and shoes. And it had to be like, we had pairs of jeans, or like if I had a pair of pants with a belt, me and him would have to be so tight to the point where it would give us like ulcers on our waist. But he was like that with pants and shoes. So I remember tying his shoes when I was a high school kid, like getting him ready for school. My mom was busy with my sister or whatever, busy getting herself ready, she would have me get him ready, and I would tie his shoes, and he'd be like, you have to tie them tighter. And he'd be like crying, like, you have to tie them tighter, like freaking out. So I would like, you know, tie them as tight as I could. And I'm like, dude, your feet are gonna be messed up. And he's like, no, they're not, it's fine. Like, just, it's fine, they're perfect, like, don't touch them. And, yeah, my sister never had anything like that, you know? I think boys are, like, more likely to have that's not a hyperfixation, what do I want to call it? Boys are, like, more likely to be on the autism spectrum, and the reason I don't think I have, like, actual autism is because it's, at least when I learned in college, it's like more of a social, isn't it? I don't know, maybe I'm talking out of my rear. But I was really, really shy growing up, but I think I grew out of that for the most part, if that makes sense. So that's why I don't think I have like I'm on the actual spectrum. But I still am very, what's it called? Man, I can't think today. Like when someone is very outspoken, I'm good on camera and I'm good in certain scenarios, but I'm very withdrawn from like social activities. Like I don't go to parties, I don't go to clubs or bars. They make me very uncomfortable. Like that's how I am. I'm very, it starts with IN as opposed to EX. Like if you're talking about, oh my God, I'm not making a good case for myself. If you're talking about like hormones, I'm more endogenous as opposed to an exogenous source of like getting injected with a hormone. That is such a very strange way to put that, but I just can't think of the word. Inclusive, exclusive, endogenous, exogenous, intrinsic, extrinsic. It's driving me nuts. What is the word? ASMR giving you extreme anxiety. ASMR while I slowly descend into having literal dementia, which is not funny, but like I literally can't remember. What is it called? It's like a type of personality. Cult of personality. Anyways, I'm gonna call it there, you guys, before I have a full-blown schizophrenic episode or a full-blown psychosis. I like this. I think this is gonna be the favorite sound. Aside from that hammer, that sounds really good. Anyways, yeah, I'll leave my links down in the comments like I have been the last few videos. I would really like to try to get my dad back to $1,000 so he can at least pay off some of that interest on those debts for my mom's medical bills. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one, and as always, please, please, please have a good rest.